In CB Exchange, there are some really useful tools that will help you do better business. Keep in mind, CB Exchange is more like think of it as a shopping mall for all things Coldwell Banker related. And up here in this springboard, that's your way into some of the specialty shops that live in the CB Exchange mall. So I'm acting as Janine Bear, one of the agents in the Sun Valley office, so that we can see how this works. We're going to look at ListTRAC. ListTRAC is basically a way to see how much activity certain listings, your listings, get online. So how much online activity they're generating. So we click on the springboard, and there's two list things in here. List Hub is the old one. I don't know why it's still on here, but we are going to use ListTRAC. So I'm going to go ahead and click ListTRAC, and now I'm in the specialty boutique store for listings in CB Exchange. Okay, so here I am on my dashboard. This is an overall picture of how my listings in total are being viewed. Please keep in mind, Sun Valley, not a lot of traction up here, not a very populated area, and so you're not going to see wild and crazy numbers like you might get in some of our bigger areas like Grand Junction, Twin Falls, and Bozeman. At any rate, here are my listings down here. This is just my dashboard. This isn't anything really that's going to let me drill down. This is just sort of an overall picture of how my listings have been doing for. So I come over here to my listing stats, and I've got the various listings that I have that are active are all right here. This one, let's see, let me choose one that I know has been on for a while. New Villager, Nez Perce just closed. So this one's been on a week or so, Copper Ranch Lane. So I'm going to click on that, 3-bed, 2-bath, 262.9. The listing ID, this number here is tied to dash, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, now it's a very graphically pleasing program, as you can see, big bright colors, easy things to click. Manage comps, refined criteria being used to determine similar listings here. This is all for me, folks. This isn't going to anyone here, so this is just a way for me to get some information. Although this line here is the seller's report, and this is where ListTRAC is really the most useful. It allows you to set up a distribution of reports to your seller on a regular basis so that they're always feeling in the loop. And once you set it up, you don't have to do it over and over. And so it's a set it and forget it. Your seller thinks, hey man, my agent is really awesome. They're always in touch with me. Good news or bad news. The point is you've got the information and there are no surprises. And that's a key thing when you're an agent, is not to surprise anyone. Okay, so before I set up anything, I want to just look how many views. It's had 1,200 views. No inquiries, no shares, hasn't been made a favorite by anyone. Where are these views coming from? Zillow had 1,000+ views, and that's outperforming the average for similar homes, which is 112. Trulia 124, 32 on Coldwell Banker, and 6 on other sites, 2 on homes. So that's the aggregate, and this is for the last month. I can change this to the last week, or I can change it to custom. And let's just go. This has only been on. Actually, this has only been on the market for a few days, so I'm not going to change it to anything crazy because it'll be the same. There's graphs down here about daily use. Obviously, when it comes online, which was 219, it gets the most. Zillow 142. All those people out there who have, new listing notification setups. Happened here again, and I'm an agent. If I'm the agent, I know what I did on the 4th to make it pop like that. I'm not Janine Bear, so I don't really know what happened, but maybe there was a price reduction or something like that. There's also a heat map showing where the hits are coming from. Most of them are coming from here in Sun Valley, so that makes sense that that's lit up. But also I'm seeing like in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, people are looking at it, okay? 931 White Cloud Lane is also, it's actually one of our listings, but it's a similar home in a similar area, similar price point. So this one is being marketed pretty well by me, I would have to say. Okay, so no inquiries, no favorites, no saves, no shares, but lots of information there. Okay, so what do I do with this information? It's nice for me to have, but again, I want to make sure that my sellers know that I am always staying in front of the listings and in front of the marketing and can give them the information that they want. So send a weekly report to the seller here, or view a preview. Let's just view the preview. and make sure that we know what we're looking at. So I'm going to click here. This is what that person would get. Okay, distinctive properties, your home, weekly report of activity related to your home. I can do this, and then this is the email I would get as the seller. Okay, so this is the preview I would get as the seller, and so since it's a preview screen, these things don't really work, so we'll just assume. So maybe we should just go here and set this up. So report delivery, I can set things up to do this, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess anything up, but basically you can put the name in here, the email, CC someone, you can include yourself, which I totally suggest you do so that you're not surprised by any information, because the worst thing you can do is send an email to your client thinking you're doing all the great stuff, but there's information in there that you weren't sure of, and they come back to you and they're like, what, blah, 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 and you're like, I don't know, then you look bad. So make sure you CC yourself, and make sure when these go out, you take a look, okay? You can change the subject up if you want sales activity on your home this week, or my report, my online activity report, whatever. And so you can change this up. The underlined will autofill with the name, and you can change this. Send weekly, send monthly, send immediately. If you've got a client that's just barking right now, have it be sent immediately. In our resort markets, I would only say send monthly. Weekly is way too much, and so that's how I would get this done. So come in here to your listing stats, all these things. You can look at your reports. So you'd want to mess around in this a little bit before setting anything up, but I just want to make sure you knew that you have the chance to set up listing reports to your seller so that they automatically happen and you look even better than you already are.